All right, Hans Themistode, FightHype.com here with Erickson Lubin. What's going on with you, man?
What's up, bro?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling, man. Everything going on? Everything going good with you?
Yeah, out here in New York. Just work out here, chilling, seeing the family.
That's what we like to see, man. So, I know I seen on your social media that you said that you have your opponent locked in. How excited are you about this opponent, man?
I'm excited to come back, more than anything, just to be in the ring, doing what I love. But as far as the opponent, like how I am, I don't like fighting dudes with lopsided records or lesser opponents. I'm always trying to, strive to do something great in this sport. So, as far as my opponent, worthy opponent, strong title contender, and, looking to put on a great performance the next time out, every time out, really.
Gotta make sure, 'cause I know I also saw on your social media, follow you a lot, so keep everything you be doing. But I know I did see on your social media that you were just like, 160 looks wide open. Is your next fight gonna be at 54, or are you going up to 60, man?
You gotta stay tuned for that. Maybe, I think this next fight is gonna be at, a little catch weight, maybe somewhere around 54 to 60. But, I'm looking forward to, it looks wide open to me, to be honest. 160 looks wide open. I feel like I could beat any one of those dudes at 160 that's like at the top of 160. But, 154 is where I'm campaigning at. Is where I want a title at, is where, I'm putting everything on right now is 154.
Question for you, Fundora, he had last fought against Ocampo. In your opinion, does he look the same? Do you think your war with him might have took a little something out of him?
I don't know. His last fight, I wasn't too impressed with that last performance against Ocampo, but styles make fights. Styles do make fights. But me and him, we lining something up for either later this year or early next year. Me and Fundora for a rematch. So I'm definitely looking forward to that too.
You think it's pretty much inevitable, man, that you and Fundora, it was like fight of the year, man. It was an all-out war. You think it's pretty much inevitable, like, yo, we gonna have to run that back. He gonna have to see me again.
Shit, you tell me as a fan, as a boxing fan, you gotta tell me. What you think?
For me personally, I think y'all gotta run it back. You was up on the scorecards. The stoppage came around about the 10th round. But it was a hell of a fight, man. So I would like to see that.
I had a shoulder injury. A lot of people might think, his face look crazy, bro. He's done, or probably what's that shit called? A broken orbital bone and shit like that. But ain't none of that happened. There's a hairline fracture on my nose. Like I said before, I could have sneezed it back in place. Like, I'm tough. I'm built tough, and I'm looking forward to a rematch with Fundora. I've been, asking for that fight again. I've been, trying to keep that in their ear so we can make it happen again.
Have to get your opinion, man, because when Danny Garcia moved up to 54, after he beat Jose Benavidez Jr., he called out Keith Thurman and a few guys at 47, and I know you was just like, man, for all of that, he could have just stayed at 47.
Right.
And now it seems likely that Spence is gonna move up to 54 and he's gonna fight Keith. Do you think it's kind of the same thing? Like
they fighting at 54?
Supposed to be 54. It's not official, but supposed to be.
If they hear that's good news to me. We got more killers in the weight class. It's just 54. Like I said, man, we the toughest weight class in boxing, in my opinion. I just feel like we're not as out there as the guys at 135. We all actually fighting each other. No diss, no shade towards those guys, but those are harder fights to make. These are easy fights to make, and it's the cream of the crop of the division. The top guys are fighting the top guys. The fights that they want to see. Like I had no hesitation to fight someone like Rosario, who is a former unified champion. He was still at the top of the weight class. Someone like Goucher, he was still at the top of the weight class. Fundora, he's at the top of the weight class, and I'm still looking to continue that. Fight those guys, the best of the best. By the time I'm done with this boxing, they're gonna be saying my name. They're gonna have my name in those history books.
In your opinion, who wins that fight? How does it play out, man? Between Thurman and Spence, man.
Spence, I feel like Spence is He a dog. He way more of a dog than Keith Thurman is. Even though I can't take nothing away from Keith Thurman, I grew up with Keith Thurman. I think Keith's a great fighter.
Oh, we both got from Florida.
Yeah, from Florida. I think he's a great fighter, but Spence is he looking to fight Terrence Crawford, and for him to get that fight, you got to take care of business. You got to take care of a guy like Keith Thurman, and just I don't know. It's a fight that the boxing world still want to see. They still want to see him against Keith. He fought Danny Garcia. He getting him 1-by-1. I respect it.
Could you see yourself actually matching up with a Spence if he decides he want to rock out at 54? That
sure.
guy is just like, yeah, I want to fight him.
For sure. I definitely want to fight someone like Spence. I started my pro career at 147. Spence was the guy coming out of the amateurs at 147. Everybody was high on him. Everybody was high on me as well. They always talked about me and him fighting. I think it's a great fight. They're both southpaw. We're gonna see who the better southpaw.
Gotcha. Now I know that you said that 160 is wide open. 54 is where you're campaigning at. But when you look at 60, let's say Big Charlo decides to move up, vacate the WBC belt. Who would you look at 160 and you're just like, all right, he's the top guy? Because I know, knowing you're gonna be like, this guy's the top guy. That's the guy I want to fight.
Triple G.
You still think he's the top guy at 160 right now?
Yeah, I mean, he got, how many belts he got? 2 belts?
He just vacated one of them, actually.
I still think he's the top guy at 160. I think there's guys coming up like Adames. Who else is at 160? I know there's like a few vacant belts that they're about to fight for. Who's fighting for Triple G's belt that he just vacated?
It wasn't announced officially, but it's supposed to be this guy named Falcoa against somebody else. So
yeah, there's no real leader at 160 in my opinion. I feel like Triple G's on his way out, and I feel like everybody else is just, trying to be that guy.
So does that kind of make you salivate a little bit? Because, yeah, I know you want that Charlo fight, man, because if you beat Charlo, you get all the belts.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, there's so many different sanctioning bodies, and, you got to fight this mandatory, that mandatory.
Right.
Would you kind of look at 160 and say, yeah, I could probably fight for a belt on my first and second trip up there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this guy's like Adames who has the interim belt. We're going to see what Charlo does with, the actual belt. But say if that go vacant, me and Adames could get it on for sure. We got a few sparring sessions that we had before that was, pretty entertaining. And I feel like that's something that the fans want to see.
I'm not going to ask about how the sparring sessions went. I know those are always behind closed doors, so I'm not going to ask you. But what do you kind of think about him as an overall fighter, man?
I think he's a strong fighter. He's a Dominican fighter with a nice background, good amateur background and all that type of stuff. But, I'm confident on myself. I'm betting the house on myself.
Gotcha. Now, I gotta ask you about Tony versus Tszyu. Supposed to be March 12th, if I'm not mistaken, in Australia. Tony right now is the slight underdog, but shit, Errol Spence said he's gonna put 10K on Tony winning that fight. So, how do you think it plays out, man?
I mean, I think he could beat Tszyu for sure. I think he could beat Tszyu. Just depending on what Tony shows up and how his camp went, I guess. And, because like towards the later rounds, I've seen Tony, fade, and that's like the 9th round is where he always getting stopped and shit. But I think he's a solid fighter, great boxer. I think he could beat Tszyu for sure. I think he could beat Tszyu. And the other way around, I think Tszyu could beat him. It's possible. Him going to Australia, fighting someone like Tszyu who's high on himself. Everybody out there is high on him. So, he just got to go in there with the right mindset and literally go take that shit.
Gotcha. I feel like I have to ask you about a guy in Jarrett Hurd. He recently came out in an interview and said that he's going to stay at 160.
Jarrett Hurd?
Yeah, Jarrett Hurd. He was at 154, unified champ. He said he's staying at 160. Said he wants all the top guys. It's on the right side of the street. So
man, he big as shit. Of course you got to go up to 60. You might go up to 68. He big as shit. But that's another fight. You get on that scale the same weight as me, we good, man. You go rehydrate 200, 500, whatever you want to do. As long as you get on that scale at what the contracted weight, I feel like I can beat everybody, man. I really feel like I can beat everybody. I practice my craft. I learn from my losses. And I'm always getting better, bro. I'm always getting better. I'm always getting better. I don't want to give you too much of my secrets, but I'm always getting better, man. I'm locked in.
Gotcha. Another fight that people haven't really mentioned about too much is, Erickson Lara. He does have the regular belt.
That's who Danny Garcia want to fight, right?
Yeah, at 155.
Yeah.
What do you kind of think about them possibly fighting at 155, man?
Man.
That shit like it's pissing you off, man.
They doing it. No.
You good over that one? Do you think that Danny could actually beat Lara though, man?
He could. I grew up watching Danny. I was when he was on his way out of the amateurs. I was still young in the amateurs, looking at guys like him and just all type of guys. So I look at Danny like he definitely is a tough fighter. And I look at Lara like he one of the best boxers, to come out of Cuba ever. So it'll be an entertaining fight for, I don't know how Lara would come approach a fight like that. Is he gonna, be more of what we've been seeing, or is he gonna be the guy that fought Canelo? Lara been knocking shit out. He been knocking shit out. But I still think it's a great fight. We don't need it. We really don't need it, but it's something to watch. Something to entertain us.
Gotcha. Now, second to last question. Would love to know kind of just your thoughts of, Shakur's at 135.
Yeah.
I know that's your guy. I'm seeing you guys a lot. That's your guy. Devin, he is supposed to be fighting Lomachenko. Just want to make sure. Do you think Devin's gonna win that fight, or who do you think?
I think Devin will beat Lomachenko.
Okay,
yeah.
So just want to double check. Devin Shakur, 35. That's the fight. Who do you think will win that, man?
That's a great fight, bro. That's a great fight. Don't ask me who I think gonna win. I think it's gonna be a great fight. Both of them are, those are some of my favorite boxers in boxing today. Shakur, Devin, Tank. Those are some of my favorite boxers, to watch today. I think it'll be a great fight, just like the sparring match was when they had it, a few years ago. I know they grew up with each other, so they're familiar with each other's styles. They done been in camps together. I done been in the camp with them when they were kids, so. And I always said those are gonna be the two nicest ones to come out of this whole shit, and they sure enough did. So I think it'll be a great fight, man. I respect to both of them, man. If it happens, it'll be a major fight too. It'll be a big fight, bigger than what people think.
Gotcha. And just my last question for you, man. Going into that Fundora fight, is anything gonna change for you in terms of how you are as a fighter? You're always an aggressive. You're a great boxer, but you're not nicknamed, Hammer for no reason. You like to knock dudes out. So do you still see yourself going out there and still trying to put dudes out? How much of a chip do you have on your shoulder right now? Because the chip on your shoulder after the Charlo fight.
I still got a chip on my shoulder. I had a chip on my shoulder going into the Fundora fight. I always feel like, that's just the way I am. I'm competitive, man. I'm always trying to be the best. I don't want nobody, considering they're better than me or, Yeah, I'm always keep a chip on my shoulder until I'm done boxing. I feel like I'm just that type of dude.
Gotcha. And I know that you said that you will be returning to the ring. Do you have kind of a date in mind, or not? Really
April or May. A couple things happened to where we had to push it back. I know I said before maybe January, February, or some shit like that, but a couple things happened where I gotta pretty much push it back to April or May, and we'll be ready, man. We'll be ready for whoever they put in the ring.
Gotcha. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.